up, guys? I'm Zach from Budget Bimmers.
Christian. Today we're going to be doing a single turbo kit. It's probably going to take more than a day, but we're going to start it today. In our last video, link in the description, we changed the clutch on this piece, and that's a pretty good video. Check it out if you need to replace your clutch for any reason, not just a single turbo kit.
What we got here is a Dock Race 6266 single turbo kit. Comes with a Precision 6266 turbo, a manifold, downpipe. Comes with twin tile wastegates with open dumps. I'm running a JB4 with an MHD back-end flash. I'm also going to be doing preventative maintenance like the oil pan gasket, water pump, thermostat, engine mounts. Also, I'm going to be doing MMP stage 2 fuel pump and a 3.5 bar T-map so that I can run over 20 PSI of boost once I have proper fueling.
So we're going to get into it right now, so definitely stay tuned. This is going to be part 1. There will be part 2 and part 3, so just stay tuned, and we're going to have this thing ripping in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we're taking the steering rack out. It was a 3/8 universal socket and a 15 on the top. Now we're going to take out the 21mm tie rod bolts and the 3/8 bolt for the steering rack. I already removed the power steering lines. The bottom one is a 22 and the top is a 19. So right now we're trying to take the top bolt out of the steering knuckle so we can slide it out and drop this steering rack. Size should be a 5/16. But I made sure the steering wheel is straight before I tried to take it off. Now I'm just prying in here. And this whole shaft should pop out. Make sure not to pull the inner part, the part that goes through the firewall, out too much. Okay, now it's out. Right now we're gonna come down here and pull it out. The rack is out. I'm putting these bolts in so I don't lose them. Make sure you keep the O-ring on each one. Next I'm going to be removing the 2 control arms and the sway bar. Front control arm is an 18mm socket. This one is an 18mm with an 18mm wrench, and the linkage for the auto leveling headlights are 2 10mm wrenches. The sway bar link is a 15mm. Now we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. Once all your bolts are out, you should be able to slide the control arm out. And now the suspension can hang free. Once all the suspension is loose, we'll be able to set up the support. You want to make sure it's even on both sides. On something strong. This is a Harbor Freight engine support. So you want to hook the rear hook to the tow hook that is conveniently located in the trunk. And then take the chain, hook each side, and just wrap it around, and pull this tight and tighten it. That's just extra security. You just pull this, tighten this, until you see the engine start to creep up a little bit. Do not try to lift the engine, and now it's supported. I probably already should have done this by now, but I'm going to drain the motor oil. It's a 17mm, not a wrench. Right now, I'm taking a sample of my oil. You didn't know, Blackstone Laboratories, you can send in a sample of your oil. They'll tell you pretty much anything you want about the oil, coolant content, any kind of metals that are in it. stuff like that. Will basically tell you how healthy your engine is. Pretty cool stuff. Blackstone Laboratories. Now that we have the oil drained out,
I don't know if it's recording.
it is. We're going to start removing the bottom engine mount bolts on both sides. They are going to be a 3/8 external Torx. Now, once the motor mount bolts are out, I'm going to remove the sway bar just to make it easier. Bruh! Now I'm going to start removing the subframe bolts. They're 18 millimeters. Make sure you use a 6-point because they are aluminum bolts, just like every other bolt in this car. Got 3 on each side.
Make sure your engine hoist is very secure before you start removing these bolts.
Very nice. Yeah, it's coming down. Turns out we got some hoses attached to the subframe that we have to remove right now.
See that?
Yeah, T30 bit. Jesus Christ, dude, really? Did we need this long of a fucking
Wait, is it? Wow. That's fucking in there.
I have to take the serpentine belt off so I can get the power steering pump off in order to remove the oil pan. First, I'm going to take off this inlet since I'm not going to be using it anymore. It's a T30 Torx bit.
Wait, point to the bolt.
There's one bolt right here and one down there. These hoses are attached to the inlet in little clip things. Just pulling them out right now. So I'm gonna take this hose off in order to get the inlet out, so it'll be easier. So I'm just gonna pop this hose off and drain the coolant. Got my bucket handy. I'm gonna pop this little C-clip up. Clip it off. Give it a little pry. There she goes. Whoa, dude! What the fuck is that? BMW has blue coolant apparently. This is the hose I just popped off. Makes it so I can pull it out more. So I can pull this inlet. These inlets are the worst thing ever. I'm just so glad I never did inlets. Aftermarket ones. I should just cut it in half. Yeah, let's cut it in half. Budget Bimmers. You can see the serpentine belt nicely. I'm going to draw a little diagram of this so I don't forget how it's routed. In order to loosen the tensioner, you need a T60 Torx bit. Place it on the tensioner. Oh, fuck. Dude, that was bad.
Oh my god, yeah.
Don't fucking do that. Make sure this is seated fully so you don't strip the bolt in the hole, the Torx. Not showing any signs of breaking. That's good. But I got a new one anyway. Okay, we got the serpentine belt off. We're gonna take off the power steering pump with a 3/8 external Torx. I already drained the power steering fluid, so you shouldn't have to worry about any coming out. Now that's out of the way, we can just let it hang there since I don't feel like disconnecting those fucking things. Fuck those things. So I'm doing the oil pan gasket. I'm going to start removing the bolts with a 3/8 external Torx. There's going to be a ton of them. So I'm just going to start each one individually. Make a note that these 3 bolts go into the oil pan. Okay, well the bolts are out. Now we're going to pry it out very gently because it is attached pretty strongly. Yeah. There we go. Lower it down. And there she is. It's disgusting. While the oil pan is off, definitely take the time to clean this very well so that your new gasket adheres nicely. And also, we're going to clean the oil pan very thoroughly. So I cleaned the oil pan really well. Made sure that nothing stayed in there. So there's these little, like, it looks like welding slag, just like chilling in here. You can feel it. My paper towels are getting hung up on it, so make sure to get all the junk out. I got this kit from ECS, so it came with new hardware for the oil pan. See, it already has a Loctite on it and everything. So that's really nice. Now we're going to reinstall the oil pan. So everything's all clean, kind of. So you need a paper towel. Do not want to cross thread these. Be super extra careful. I got all the bolts started. Now you just want to get them snug, starting from the middle and working out. All the bolts are snug now. I got my torque wrench set at 5.9 foot-pounds or 8 Newton meters. Now I'm going to torque all these down. Again, starting from the middle. Doing a crisscross pattern outwards. They're all torqued to 8 Newton meters. You have to do a 90-degree turn. Right now I'm just marking all the ones that I already tightened so I don't lose track. So these last, the long bolts, which are all of these, are 8 Newton meters and 180 degrees. Fuck yes. We're all done. I'm reinstalling this little piece right here. The 3 bell housing bolts that went into the oil pan. Okay, now I'm reinstalling the pump, power steering pump. Yeah, now we're going to start removing the water pump and thermostat. Looks like we got 3/8 external Torx, 1, 2. We got clamps, flathead, or it looks like a 6mm. And these two 10mm for the thermostat. Make sure you unplug the battery before disconnecting anything electrical. All the way around. Ah! Ah! Throwing up everywhere. The humanity. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for when this is empty. In 10 years.
1 hour later.
You want to buy a slightly used water pump? Water box? Where is it coming from, dude? Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna take off this next hose on the side of the thermostat. The last hose on the thermostat is this one. It's got the little clippy-do, so you gotta stick a flathead in it, pull the clip out, and then it pops off. Now all the hoses are off, we're gonna take the thermostat off with a 10mm. Should be these two bolts.
Well, let me see the bolts, dude.
Okay, that's the thermostat. Okay, I'm going to loosen this hose up now so I can take the water pump off. And we'll have a clear shot to the turbos.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
No.
Because a vision softly.
Dude. Fuck!
And it went.
Oh my god, dude. Now we're gonna remove the water pump bolts.
Point to it.
Should be 3. What?
Point to it.
1, 2. Third bolt is right there. Right above. Okay, all 3 bolts are out. Time to pull this off. Just like that. Water pump is off. Now that the water pump and thermostat is out of the way, we can start taking off the water lines for the turbos and the oil drains. So we're going to start with these, which is the T30. These small external Torx all around here are a 1/4 inch. Okay, we got one out. Just learned what coolant tastes like. That's cool. Now I gotta get the other one. For now, we're gonna take the motor mount out. We have enough room to work, and it is a 7/16.
Dude, that whole thing's gonna drop.
I'm holding it. What the fuck is in there? What the fuck is that, dude? Where did that come from? What?
I think it came off your turbo.
Oh, it's the fucking... Wow, that's really good rubber. Okay, we just removed the passenger side motor mount. We have plenty of fucking room now.
Oh, it's dripping slow. Nice. Ease it out. Oh, there it is. Oh, nice. Alright, next he's gonna remove this. And it's these 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts.
4 bolts later.
4 bolts later. Several bad puns later.
And we're going to take these 4 bolts out for this coolant hose. 1/4 inch external Torx. I'm going to be taking off the charge piping now with an Allen key. I'm not sure what size it is. This is probably going to take 5 hours. Well, it only took 3 hours to get this off, but it's off. Now we should be able to pop, pop, pull. Ah. That was easier than expected. Now it's out. Okay, at this point we're going to start taking some of the header bolts out. We're going to see how many we can get without it being a pain in the ass. Size A11. Size 11 socket. One is out.
So on the header nuts or bolts, whatever, it's an 11 millimeter around, or you can use the T50 on the inside. And you're gonna have to use the T50 a few times just because of the fitment in there. You can't really get a socket around it. To remove the oil drain, there's one reverse Torx right there, and it's a T30. And on the other side right there, the reverse Torx is right there, and it's also a T30.
Okay, removing the oil drains now. And also the oil feed right there. This one is a T40. This is the oil feed. There she blows. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of oil. Oh shit. I'm just gonna cut the wastegate lines now, since I don't need to pull them out. Just cut them. And then we'll be ready to pull these suckers out. And there's another oil feed right there. It's the same Torx bit as the others. So the front turbo also has another feed right there. That's 2 oil feeds per turbo. Okay, the last thing keeping these from coming out is that heat shield across the top. There's a couple 1/4 inch external Torx bits like that one right there. I'll pull that out, and then the turbo should come out. This rear inlet we pulled out when the tranny was out. Pretty much what we had to do is cut this part off and broke the tabs off on the top because you can't really get an Allen key in there, and just pulled it out the top. Sounds easy, but it's a pain in the ass. Oh my god. That was close. Alright, they're coming out. Yes. So here they are, in their blown glory. Except this one's actually nice.
Yeah, this one was just blown on the seal.
Like this one. Yeah, the turbo seal's junk. But
in this video, we did the oil pan gasket. We removed the water pump to get to the turbos, and we removed the stock turbos, so now the engine's nice and clean. And in the next video, we're going to be putting the new turbos in, the new manifold, the new headers right here, and we're going to put the turbo on and mount it all up and reroute some hoses and relocate some things in the engine bay, and she should be ready to run. So stay tuned.